Right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to today's call. Today is March 29th, 2026. And we are going into our weekly outlook call, you guys. Before anything, I want to go ahead and introduce to you somebody who I'm very excited. It's actually somebody I've known him for less than a month now. It's probably been just about maybe, I would say
Two
like
weeks.
2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, just about 2 weeks. But I am very, very much excited to be able to connect with this individual here, to learn from him. I've kind of watched his trades. I see his style, his strategy, his mindset around the market. He trades very similar to Oscar. So it's going to be cool having both of them here. He's a higher time frame, bigger, bigger perspective thinker. He's looking at what is taking place on the larger time frame. So he's going to be able to help us find our direction, and, continue to take those trades in our direction. What we found was that there were some times to where, we didn't even actually see the market the same way. I saw potentials for pullback, but his discipline in itself is just that, what, he knows his bias, he knows his direction, he knows what he's looking for. He's willing to just take his trade and let it ride. And if the market pulls back, maybe we re-enter on those pullbacks rather than trading against the overall trend that was created. So I'm excited to have somebody here. He's told me that his style, he's looking to take probably about 3 trades per week. These are going to be A plus setups. These are going to be trades that are high probability. If you're only taking 3 trades per week, just imagine it, all of you guys. Imagine yourselves taking 3 trades per week and the amount of patience and discipline that it takes to sit on your hands and to just wait for the opportunity, right? People like that are good people to have in your corner. So I'm super excited to have Arm on the call. I'm gonna go ahead and just let him tell, a little bit about himself. I see he's on his computer too, so if you did want to go ahead and go over one, I'll give you 1 or 2 setups. You could take 1 or 2 setups or so, and just to go over them, share with us what you're anticipating for the week. I typically do this weekly outlook call at the beginning of each week just to kind of set a stage for the week ahead. I'll go through it. I'll set my alerts. I'll do all of those things. But if you want to go ahead and take the sticks, man, introduce yourself. Um, Tell us 2 things about you. Where are you from? When did you get started trading? All those things. You can do it. And if you want to go ahead and do you can take one. Maybe you can take your Euro USD or whatever you'd like. You can do a review. And
Mhm.
the floor is yours, my guy.
All right. Well, pretty much. First of all, good night, y'all. 7:50 over here. I'm in Houston, Texas. First of all, my name is Arm. Uh, I'm from Honduras, so I might have the accent, because I speak Spanish. That's my first language. But just bear with me, bear with me. Nah, but
Some texting in there.
hello?
I definitely hear some texting in there.
Well, let's say I got influence, yeah, a little bit. Um, but now, first of all, thanks, Wale, for, the opportunity to be here with y'all. Like, I really, you know, I see the vision of everything. I'm really excited for the whole project, for the whole community, because at the end of the day, the point of me, as I told Wale and I told Oscar, the point of me joining the community is not to come and like change what's been done, because I know they have their own form and their own way to trade. And I know that at least with Wale, you'll be learning his way of analyzing the markets and with Oscar the same, But it's just me trying to, give y'all also some advice, like just a little sugar, to the whole juice, let's say. So, yeah, I'm from Honduras. I'm 24 years old, about to be 25 in July. And I've been trading since 2022. That's when I started. Actually, Oscar and I've known Oscar for the longest. I've known him for like past 4 years because we basically started together, That's why him and I we read the markets in a similar way, but we both develop our own confirmations, our own, strategy, basically. We have the base, but we look for different things at the same time. which is good, which is good. Um, so yeah, as Wale said, I'm basically a swing trader. I look for setups on the higher time frames. Like I basically start on the weekly to see where the market is, what's price been doing. Then I go to the daily, then a 4 hour, 1 hour, and lastly, the 30 minute. Sometimes I go maybe the 2 hour time frame or the 45-minute time frame, but usually my entries are on the 1 hour time frame, you know. And then my strategies basically requires a lot of patience because as what I say, like I basically stay on the trade and hold it. Once I enter the trade, part of my trading plan is basically I don't touch anything. I don't do anything. Like once I enter, it's because I know I found everything that I was looking for, and I just gotta let the market decide. Either it hits my take profit or it hits my stop loss. Either way, I gotta be okay with it, you know? So yeah, I take at least 1 to 3 trades per week. If I already hit the 3 trade mark per week and I find another setup, even though it might be a B setup or almost A plus, I don't trade. I don't trade. That's just part of my trading plan. It keeps me disciplined and it keeps me safe from over trading. That's an easy um I would say easy mistake that a lot of new traders make that I personally made, you know? Also, I know that when you start trading, one of the things that people struggle with is basically patience. It's the psychological part. Because don't get me wrong, even though I trade like this and I hold a trade for like 24, 26, 32 hours, like I can stay on a trade for like 3 days and till we hit my take profit, you know, or my stop loss. Because I haven't had trades that I've been maybe on the my risk to reward has been like 1.1 to 1.8, and then it reverses all the way back to my stop loss. But what I do, okay, I took an L, I go to the next one. That's it. I don't like only this Friday, for example, if y'all saw in the group chat that I sent my Euro USD trade. I did close that trade on break even. But the only reason I did, because most of the times I don't really even go break even. The only reason I went break even this time was because it was Friday. If it wouldn't be like a Tuesday, Wednesday, I most likely would have, just hold the trade. But it was Friday. We had a lot of things going on. We did had a couple news. They were like yellow folder news, but still, news are news. And yeah, so most of the times I do take decisions that are a little bit out of my trading plan, but it's because of certain conditions that the market gives me, you know? Because at the end of the day, when you trade, you gotta trade based on what the price is doing at the moment, not because of what you believe is gonna happen. That's why I said it wasn't worth holding the trade, even though right now I will be in profit. I will be let me see. Because I'm on my phone, but I want to get on the meeting on my computer to share my screen with y'all. That way I can do a breakdown. But for example, right now I will be at a one-on-one right now in profit, you know. But it is what it is. Um, that trade is gone. Like I'm telling you right now, I'm not interested in Euro USD for this week. I'm looking for other pairs, but I'm a New York session trader too. So all the trades that I take are gonna be based on the US dollar because I trade New York. So yeah, that's pretty much it, like trading. I don't know for how long y'all been trading. Like I it's my first time really connecting with y'all. But first of all, nice to meet y'all. Second of all, I don't know for how long y'all been trading, but if sometimes it gets hard and you feel like, is it really worth it? Trust me, it is. Like I can tell you from personal experience, the first trade that I took on a live account, as I told Wale, it was a couple years ago. I was still in college. I was basically, paying bills, paying college, and my savings, I literally put my whole savings that I had in that time, which were $200. I put them on KOT Forex, which was the broker that I used back then. And then I was with Oscar on a meeting, like he even remembers that. And this morning we took this Nasdaq trade. Take in mind, I'm a beginner. I'm I don't even know what Nasdaq is. Like I'm just following what we're talking about, Like really don't even know what I'm doing basically. So long story short, we get on the trade. 2 seconds later, the 200 is gone. I blew the account. So I was like, excuse me for my words, but I was like, fuck, like, damn, why did I get into this shit just to fucking lose $200? Like, I mean, it's emotional. Like you get emotional, especially where you're thinking like, damn, those $200 are $200 that you can use for something else. Especially when you're like in need, basically. But I still kept going, and thankfully I made it work. And I know it takes time because it's a long-term journey. You're gonna lose money. Like I don't know any trader that can say I never lose money in trading. I never lost money in trading. Like it's non-existent. You're always gonna lose money, but if you stay consistent, if you stay disciplined, if you have patience, if you have, you know, um, what it takes, and even though if you don't have it right now, if you develop it with time, but you have like that goal and you keep hustling towards that goal, you're gonna make it, you know? As I told Wale too, when we first met, there's a lot of people in trading that, they get into trading for different reasons, right? But at the end of the day, that's fine. It the reason don't matter. But how far are you willing to take it, you know? Because if you think like in a year you're gonna become profitable, okay, you might or you might not. It's gonna really depend on you. Because I know people that they, they became profitable in 8 months, in not even like a year. And then there's people that became profitable 2 years later, you know? So it's really gonna depend on how many hours you're willing to put on the charts, how many books related to trading are you willing to study? Are you gonna go to sleep or are you gonna back test, like on the weekends? For example, I always like because I have friends, personal friends that they want to learn how to trade, and they always ask me like, and tell me like, bro, teach me, like, send me the trades that you take, and I'm like, bro, I can send you the trades that I take, and we might hit them, but what's the point of me sending you the trades that I take if you don't understand everything that's behind that trade? Like you're not gonna know why I took the trade. You're not gonna know why I'm buying. You're not gonna know why I'm selling. And then when you decide like to trade on your own, you're just gonna gamble and you're gonna blow the account because you don't wanna, study the craft. Because at the end of the day, this is like any business. We gotta treat trading like a business. It's a business because we're investing money to make money. So I'm really excited, y'all. I'm really excited to be here with y'all. I hope I can, help y'all grow. I hope I can, you can find some value in my strategy. And I'm a believer that, my trading style is, I would say, unique. I want to say it's a trading style that not anyone can do, because I'll be honest, not anyone has the patience. But I feel it's one of the most profitable trading styles that you can find nowadays. Because as I told Wale, last time he was trying to get on this counter trend Nasdaq trade, and he was like, "I'm a buy right now. I'm a buy right now." I was like, "Don't do it, don't do it." And then he was like, "Okay, break it down for me, and I'll see if I do it or not." So at least he took that step back. He let
I'm
me get
open.
in.
I'm trying to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
I,
which is good. Which is because you know you will take an L.
let me
You were
show you
gonna take an
guys.
L.
Let me show you guys the trade. Let me show you guys the
Oh
trade
yeah,
and how we
how
talked
about this?
about it. hmm
Yeah,
Look
because
at this.
I
I'll
don't have it
show
on
it
my
to you.
computer right now.
I got it right here. You gonna laugh. I mean,
Okay, hold on.
but look, this is the trade. Um, and what I was anticipating was it was actually probably like right here.
Yeah.
My anticipation was that price was going to trade back into this wick area. That we would need at least a pullback, even if we continued, like even if we were to continue to the sell side, that we would need to trade back. Because I like, you guys know, I like full candle body closures. You know what I'm saying? When we're testing these structures, like I would like to see price trade back into here. This is not
Yep.
satisfactory to me. So I actually would have been profitable on the trade. You know what I'm saying? It went for 160 points. You guys know after like 50 points, I'm gonna put my stop loss to break even. But in
Mm-hmm.
Arm's mind, the way that he expressed it was, and after we talked it through, he's like, I can see exactly what you're looking for. However, his preference would probably be to, wait for the pullback and then to
Nope.
enter in the
Yeah.
direction of the trade. Because as you guys can see, the trade did continue. I mean, it hit, but it did continue to the sell side as well. So it really depends on what you're looking for.
Yeah.
But
But I'll
all
be
in
up.
all, and I'll let you cut in. But all in
Yeah,
all,
sorry,
for
sorry.
me, no worries, bro. But all in all, for me, I think that it's a very valuable thing. And in the person that I am, I'm trying to be the best. I don't care. I don't have no pride. I don't have no ego. I'm confident with myself. But look at this on the 4 hour time frame now, Nate. This is the trade.
That's
it
crazy.
it don't it's cool, but it don't look as smooth anymore. You know what I'm saying? It was a little push, but as Arm was saying, the overall direction of the market was to the downside. So
Yeah.
until we have some confirmations that show that, then we can. I mean, you can take the buys, right? If you can do that, but you have to understand what you're risking. You have to understand that you're probably going to take more trades. In the way that he's taking it, he's looking for the best trade. He's looking to wait for that one trade. I might take some more high risk trades that are going to yield like a huge result. But I might be taking 5 trades and I might end up losing 2 of them because one of them was a counter trend trade. You know what I mean? I might end up losing them. And I'm going to go ahead and you let me
Yeah.
know.
I'm getting on the computer right now.
All
Just
right,
to
so
I might still
I'm
be
gonna,
on the phone, but I might show y'all my screen on the computer.
yes, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and give you the stick so you could share. Um,
Okay. Let
and
So,
me
I'm gonna let you go ahead and share.
okay. Let
Question.
me all right. So in this trade, now that you still have your screen in there.
You want me to keep it here?
s- Yeah, go back to your take profit on that pullback on
Hmm.
that buy that you took, on that buy that you took, yeah. Because that for me is the pullback. So where his take profit was, that would be my entry.
wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that would be my entry,
Mm-hmm.
basically. And
And
then how many pips is from right there to your stop loss?
from here to my stop,
Yeah, put it right there to your stop. Yeah,
along a little,
most likely that would have been my TP.
a nice little 200,
Yeah,
200 pips,
yeah.
200
That
points. You know what I'm saying?
that would have been my TP, and you know why? Because my TP is always gonna be where liquidity is. So you have that liquidity from that bullish candle right before your entry, right there where. We have that bearish last bearish candle. Then we have that bullish engulfing right there. Then we made that area. No, right. Okay, hold on.
How about I get well? Oh, you can
Go
finish.
go right there. Where you have the mouse right there. Okay, to the left. That first big, exactly, that first big candle that you have right there, that one. So you go down to the bottom wick of that one. Yeah, go down to that bottom wick at around 23,595. That would have been my take profit right here. Because I would need to fill out that wick, and y'all can see I would have entered most likely on that pullback once I get that bearish engulfing candle closed. I would have entered right there, and yeah, I would have hit like a what? That's 2.1 to 2 risk to reward. That would have been like my first take profit, if I'm honest with y'all. But what sometimes I do, I don't put on my trades, I don't put on my take profit numbers. Because
It's
I
too fast. If it goes, you might still be in
exact
there.
yeah, most likely I would still be in there. Because I sometimes I don't put my take profit numbers because I don't want to keep my winners short. I don't want to cut them. I like to go for the big runners. That's why I wait for the A plus setups.
So
So
would
I
you secure any partial? Would you secure par? Are you just taking one position? Would you secure partials at your take profit and let the less, let a runner
you
run, or
mi-
are you
you
holding the whole thing?
you might get mad at me, but I don't
He
take
said I'm hold.
partials.
It's crazy, what I'm saying? But I love that because you're confident. You're confident. You're saying
Yeah,
I'm willing to allow my trade to go to where I
that's
expected it to go
why
to.
exactly. That's why I don't take partials. I don't trail my stop loss. I don't close break even unless market is giving me special conditions to do it. Okay, let's put a note in that. So I won't say I never do it because I just did Friday.
So Nate,
But
one thing to cut in, Nate, one thing that I will say, so there's a lot of differences in our style, but you see that his target was the same lows, like you saw how we just ran that back several
Right.
times on NZD USD.
Hmm.
We found the direction of the market, we found the trend of the market, and we targeted the lows. We looked for about a 1 to 3 arms, looking at like a 2.5 to a 1 to 3,
yeah,
somewhere in there, just as well. So there's definitely some commonalities in there.
yeah,
He's just going to make sure he's not looking at any of the counter trend moves. He's just looking
no,
to take the trade in the direction of the trend, and he's staying disciplined all the way.
To the
So I think that,
trend.
yup,
yeah, to
yup,
the
yup.
trend. And
And
if I
that
decide to take a high risk trade, that for me that's a counter trade. It's a high risk trade. Um, Most likely for me to get into it, I would first of all, if I risk, okay. So I like to risk around 2 to 5% of the account, but that's me, depending on the setup. Uh, but why I do it? Because if I know it's a A plus setup that has a risk to reward for like a 1 to 6, 1 to 10, and I'll show you some examples right now. Um, then yeah, of course I'm a risk a little bit more. Why not? You know?
sure.
But you gotta be really, really selective. So, well, hey, if you let me share my screen right now, I'll break it
Yes,
down for
yes,
y'all.
sir. I just shared your host right now on your computer. You can go
Okay,
through, and I'm gonna get my notebook so I could take some notes just as well.
let me
This is wild.
let me share this with y'all. Okay,
Always a
let me.
student, man. I'm always a student. I'm trying to get better. I'm gonna be a legend in this space, and that comes from being in alignment with great
Oh,
individuals. You
I
know what I'm
love the
saying?
fact that I can be on the meeting on my phone. That way I can, make sure everything's looking good. So, okay, so this is the trade that I took last week. Okay, well, basically this week, yeah, still Sunday. But Euro USD, I'll break it down for y'all. First thing I did, I went to the monthly. These are the time frames that I look at. You know, monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 45, 30 minute, 15 minute. I might even take it out because I'm gonna leave it there because 15 minute I do look at it sometimes, but from put it this way, from 8 to 10 trades that I take, maybe 2 or 3 times I look at the 15 minute. It's not on every setup. So monthly, I'll break it down for y'all. So we can see Euro USD since 2008. We've been on this bearish trend right here, right? So what happened back in last year, 2025? We broke, price broke, retested, heading to the upside, right? But you can see some areas of interest that I have right here gave, and worked as resistance for the price, right? Now, don't get me wrong, monthly, I only use it to have a vision overall of what to expect on my next setups. Because it's not that I'm just gonna take one trade per month, But at least it gives me a whole view of what has happened within the past couple years with the markets. So once I know the overall view, okay, I go to the weekly. Now is when my real analysis start. So let me delete everything so I can basically break it down for y'all. I'm gonna hide my drawings, right? Let me take this alerts off because I'm not really interested in your USD for this week. So let me just, all right. Okay. So weekly, as y'all can see right here, same issue right here, right? So since 2021, 21, and y'all can see how it aligns basically with the monthly. Y'all can see that how this point right here in 2025 on the weekly aligns with my whole trend line that I did on the monthly since 2008, right?
Absolutely.
And y'all saw that on the monthly, we broke, retested, went to the upside, right? Now look on the weekly. You can see that. Up, break, retest, up to the upside, you know? So you can see how basically the higher time frames, I like to put it this way, the higher time frames gives me the overall picture, but as a picture that's made from pixels, when you go to the smaller time frames, you're basically just zooming in on that picture, of the whole move,
I like
right?
that. That's a good example.
Yeah. So what happened right here? Okay, so we went bullish after consolidating for a couple weeks. We went bullish, we retested, went to the upside, and now price broke because of this resistance that we got right here, right? So once it broke and I saw it was making this basically you can call it like order block or whatever name you want to call it. This is basically another zone. uh we were bearish. So one thing that I have in my rule on the higher time frames, I need to have at least two time frames in sync. Like for example, it's either the weekly and the daily in sync, or I need to have the daily and the 4 hour. But why? Just by defining the trend, what tells me, okay, this can be an A plus setup if I have the three time frames in sync, like in Euro USD. I had weekly, I was bearish. Let me see right here. I'll break it down. So right here, okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then we got bearish engulfing, retested, and dropped. Okay, and now we're making basically a what? Lower high, and then down to the upside, right? So that's why I was bearish too, because we made this big bullish candle on the weekly. So we already retested this zone. So I already know we were going to the downside. Okay, so then I go to the daily. Beautiful. Right here on the daily, same thing. Um, let me put this right here. So then lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then switch of structure. to the downside, right? You can see that basically price also consolidated right here, right? And then we drop. Then it, right here for me, where I have the mouse, they was kind of a little bit choppy. I think this was March. So this is the time where, the boom was everything that was going on, the war with Iran, the whole gas prices, everything was a whole mess. So during these days, like price was just really, really, really choppy, right? But then what happened? I went to the 4 hour. Okay. So in the 4 hour, if we do a trend line right here, we were kind of bullish, but we were also going sideways. So I was like, okay, price is about to do something because after a big move, you price most likely is gonna either pull back to retest the zone, but if it starts consolidating, price is about to make a decision. Are we going to the upside or are we going to the downside? Right? But what I found right here, because as a matter of fact, I deleted those zones, but I did catch this sell right here too. I did catch this sell. That was 180. Yeah, it's 180 pips. I catch this sell right here. I was in that trade for like 3 days. But real quick, just coming back to the sell. So overall, the trend was bearish, right? What I got right here, I had on the 4 hour, I found that we had this drop. Okay, so I already knew price was gonna come back to retest, and with price made this what's it called? This head and shoulders right here. Head, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Are y'all familiar with this pattern right here?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So you know that after we have the right shoulder, price is gonna drop. Most likely it's gonna close underneath the neckline, and then it's gonna pull back to retest that neckline, right? And then it's gonna decide if it's gonna be a valid sell or not, right? So what happened? I went to the 1 hour right here, and then we have left head, right shoulder. It dropped, and you see right here, it went back, it went down again, it went up again. But what happened? We closed bearish. So price broke the neckline, went back and retested it, and then it broke again, and it gave me the confirmation. Okay, yeah, we're going for a sell because it closed underneath that neckline right here, underneath this zone. You see right here?
Mhm.
Okay, so what happened later? Right there, I already have 3 time frames in sync. I'm bearish. Okay, so I'm just looking for sales. I'm not looking for buys. So I have 3 time frames in sync. I have a head and shoulders pattern, which is really common, and a great, great, great confirmation for sales. Okay, because we also have like inverse head and shoulders, but most likely like the best ones are these ones for sales. Then we broke the neckline. Price went back and retested the neckline. Then it confirmed me that we're going for sales when this candle right here closed underneath the neckline. Okay, so the only thing I'm waiting for is a bearish engulfing candle to basically go to the downside, right? And then this is on the 1 hour. Okay, this is where I enter my trades. So we have this bearish candle right here. Then we have this bullish candle right here. Okay. Only thing I was waiting for is for this candle to close. Okay. So I let it run for that whole hour. But what happened? You can see right here. You can see the body of this candle close underneath the body of this bullish candle, giving me that bearish engulfing that I was looking for. You see right here? It wasn't the strongest bearish engulfing, but I already have enough confirmations to really don't think like, okay, I need that bearish engulfing to be super, super like strong. But I enter right here, okay? But if you want to like the strong bearish engulfing, you got it right here. You see? You got it right here. But that's when I took the trade. So I entered shorts right here. Once this candle closed, my stop loss are usually an average of 30 to 35 pips. I like putting the stop loss. If this is my last week, I put it a little bit above it. Okay? Just to give me that space. I like to call it like this airflow on the price. That's a term I put, giving this airflow just in case price pulls back all the way. We have this, like margin to be safe. And then my take profit, I'll tell you how I define my take profit. So I do enter on the 1 hour, but I define my take profit. My initial take profit was right here, around this week, right here, for 1 to 2. Okay. But I went back in time on the daily. I went back in time and I was like, okay, let me see what price has been done, have been doing during this time right here, right? So I found this right here. I even have the circuit by this psychological level of 1.14 thousand. So price did touch this psychological level right here, but it made this bullish move right here, but price never came back down all the way to fill out those orders. Okay. So price is always gonna go back to fill out the orders all the way eventually. So what happened? I was like, okay, I have a potential for getting that psychological. Would have given me a 1 to 5 risk to reward. But there's a key factor over here. Even though I was aiming for that psychological right here, when price gave me this pin bar right here, candle, you can see it close over here, bullish, before it made this big move. So I know that this time, during this time, and during this area, buyers are stronger. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna aim for that psychological, but and that's when the 15-minute and the 30-minute get involved. Okay, I'll go right here and I'm like, okay, if I don't get a 1 to 5, I'm gonna aim just to be safe to the 1 to 4, you know, once to this body closing, right here. And what happened with price? It was right there. You see, we go back, it's literally right there when this candle closed and when next one opened, right? So y'all can see on the daily, I was on this trade for 2 days basically, 2 days straight. I was on this trade for uh like 36 hours, if I'm not mistaken, 36 to 38 hours. That's why I say like the way I trade is really, really requiring a lot of patience. Um, but is the higher probability trades. So I feel like my strategy is more like for people that don't really have a lot of time during the day, because maybe you'll have like families you gotta take care of or work, like everything. But at least you can still be trading without having the need to be checking the charts every single time. Like if you ask me, like, for how often do you check the charts once you're on a trade? I'll be honest with y'all, most of the times I check them. If it's to send like an update to the group chat, I'll say maybe like around every hour and a half to 2 hours. If it's just a personal trade for me, uh, maybe every 4 hour closing. Or when I get the, maybe an alert from TradingView, because that's what I do. That's why I had like these multiple alerts on the chart when I started sharing my screen. Because as I said, like most of the times I don't put my take profit numbers on my MT5, but I just let my alerts go off. So I name my alerts. I'm like, uh, this is my alert right here. So I'm like TP2 hit. That's my alert name. So when I get the notification from TradingView, it says TP2 hit. So I'm like, oh, okay. I go and check the chart, and that's how I decide if I'm a close. Most of the times I do like to close manually the trades. Other times I just set up a take profit number. It really depends, on the quality of the setup. Everything's based on the quality of the setup. But going back to what I said about the 15-minute and the 30-minute time frame, that's where I was gonna explain to Wale last time, but didn't have the chance. The only reason I most of the times use these time frames is, for example, let's say the price is, the market's giving me like this choppy movement, like doesn't have a clear setup, a clear, direction of what the price is gonna do. So let's say we get to these areas right here, you know. By the way, I'm gonna explain to you in a minute why some area of interest have this red border and why it's blue and blue. Okay? Just bear with me. I'm gonna tell you why. So going back to the 15-minute and the 30-minute. So on this trade right here, when it pulled back all the way, it was around right here, right? Friday. So I'll be honest, I did close the break even because I didn't have my phone in time. If not, I would have closed right here. Okay? Why? So we can see the price was bearish. We were going to the downside, but right here, price gave me basically made this area right here. You can see how many touches that zone has. And the thing is, like, it consolidated right here for 15, 30, 45, basically for a whole hour. It was consolidating. And what happened? In a whole hour, price broke. So this would say like, oh, okay, we're going bullish, right? That's why once it broke and closed above this zone right here, I would have closed if I had my phone on me. Because I was like, okay, it's gonna go up, it's gonna retest to the straight to my SL, right? So that would have been like a more of a condition-based closing, right? So that's when I use these lower time frames. When I see the price not giving me a clean setup, because I like to go for the cleanest setups I can find, right? And if I go to the 30-minute, going back to this area right here, you can see it's almost the same. So we got this one right here. If I open up this area of interest a little bit more, ooh, we have so many touches right here on this area, So on the lower time frames, we know this area of interest is strong. And if it goes above, closes bullish, yeah, I'm expecting that retest and straight to my SL, So that's why I would close right there. And that's when I use these lower time frames. I use these lower time frames to decide if I'm gonna close, if market's not giving me a clean setup. And sometimes I use the 30-minute if I want like this sniper entry. Because let's say I find a buy, but it's like on the lowest price that market has been. That's when I use that 30-minute just to give me that bullish engulfing to enter and have like the most sniper entry I can have. But that's not most of the cases. Most of the cases I just go based on the 1 hour or 2 hour. Really depends on the setup, because you can see this 2 hour is clean. We have break from this trend line right here. It basically retested it, go back down, then retest it again. If you see this big ass wick right here, that's when Trump spoke on Thursday. Last Thursday, he had a press conference. This is why we got that wick. Okay. So yeah, we have, and look at this, because I know traders, they only like to have like the 15 to 20 pips stop loss. That's why I have a bigger stop loss. Look at this. So Trump had this press conference. If I would have had my stop loss as a 17 pip, I would have been out of the trade, you know? That's why I always go higher, even though my risk to reward might be a little bit lower. But at least I know that my biggest moves are gonna be higher probability trades, you know? So that's that basically. Now, what I was gonna tell y'all, this area of interest right here, why I have some area of interest that are red and some are blue and blue. So let's go to the weekly. I like to split up my area of interest, okay? So every area of interest that has a red border is a weekly area of interest. I only enter a trade if price is touching an area of interest that's on the weekly or on the daily and is rejecting it because higher time frames, higher area of interest, higher probability. Um, it's everything I change, you know. So, for example, look at this. This is a weekly area of interest, and also for me to define which one is a good area of interest, at least I need at least 3 touches on that area of interest with rejection, you know? So right here, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 touches on this weekly, you know? So this is one. And how I define it? Let's say I remove this line right here, right? So this is how I go on a clean market. I get my horizontal ray, and I'm like, okay, lower low, lower high, okay. Oh, sorry, higher low, higher high, lower low, lower high, you know. So I like, okay, price is right here. I put my ray right here, and then I go right here, right? So I'm looking for area of interest in within these 2 lines right here. So my first one is right here, right? That's my first area of interest. But I'm on the weekly, so I have a higher area of interest right there. There you go. Okay. And then there's another one right here. Another one right here. And that's how I define my area of interest, you know, because it's where price really had rejections. It really, gives me more confidence on the whole setup, right? That's why sometimes my setups take too long to form because I need to wait for price to go all the way back to that area of interest. If not, I'm not gonna hop on the trade. That's basically it, you know. And then the other area of interest that I have are either on the daily or on the 4 hour. The ones that are blue and blue are area of interest that I find on the. That's why I have it right here on my template as a lower time frame. Because higher time frame is weekly. Lower time frame would be the daily or the 4 hour. Like this one right here. Like price most likely is gonna go all the way down to this daily area of interest, and either we're gonna reject for a little bit to go back and retest, and then straight to the downside, or we might go bullish again, like right here. You see, like right here. So it's it's a pretty simple strategy at the end of the day, but it takes a lot of patience. It takes a lot of time, because basically once one setup is gone, I can wait maybe 2, 3, 4 days, like, or even 2 weeks for another A plus setup to form on the same market. You know, that's why it requires a lot of time. But that's pretty much it for this Euro USD. But let me show you something. So Wale, I was on USD CAD buys, right? And I closed at I wanted 3. Yeah, so yeah, you're muted right now. You're muted right now. So I can,
Yeah, man, I remember that. That thing ran, bro. That thing ran.
yeah. Look at this. Where's yeah, USD cat. Look. So this is where I close. I took 2.3, right? But if I would have held that trade, that would have been, yeah, like around 1 to 5 risk to reward. That would have been 1 to 3 days on the whole trade. That would have been a 1 to 5 all the way back to this weekly area of interest right here. And most likely right now, price is gonna go back down. I'll say to this one right here around, yeah, around here. Yeah, I would say around here, right here. So I'll say price is gonna go back down to then go back up, retest, and we're still bullish. I mean, we're still bullish because I know price is gonna go eventually back all the way over here, you know. And then once it gets all the way over here, if it breaks, we're definitely going all the way back to the 48,000, 1.48 thousand, you know. So we're bullish on USD CAD, like we're really bullish right now. And last time, when I hop, oh, this is funny. This is something Wale and I we were laughing about too. When I hop on my Euro USD sales, he was hopping on his GBP USD buys. And I told him it's crazy that you're looking for buys and I'm looking for sales because he was doing a counter trend trade, you know? And then he was like, "Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Let's see which one plays out." And I don't know if you hit your take profit or you got top, but
Let me show you. I actually did, but see, that's the difference though, because you're let me see.
you want me to share the screen?
I gotta
Hold on.
reclaim.
Yeah, just reconnect. Let me take it off.
Okay.
There you go. You see, which is funny, bro, because
Look, so this was it. It's just perspective. It's the time frames, right?
yeah, exactly.
So this was, and you can see where it ended up at. So this was the entry on this one. This was like a lower time frame, buy off of off of structure here, off of our 325, just about. We went for just about
Yeah,
50 pips, but that 50 pips immediately took us back. Take profit one was like 45 pips or so.
that
But
was my
after
entry
that,
right there.
exactly. That's the crazy thing. If you guys notice, that's how me and Oscar we be ping ponging sometimes too. And
Yeah,
now and now you can see that we've broken back below that overall higher time frame downtrend because I definitely we have a lot of commonalities, a lot of similarities in the way that we view things. You just
yeah,
have your discipline's just different. You know what I'm saying? You just you're not gonna take you have your own rules and the things that you're gonna wait for.
yeah.
Sometimes
Like,
I'll try to take trades like this. This is how I'll take some of the 1 to 10s. You know what I'm saying? When I
yeah.
can go ahead and take a buy like this, we use psychological levels. We use quarter levels.
Mm-hmm.
1.325 is the level that we're buying off
1.325.
of. And you can see how at the exact same level where we have our quarter level, we also have an imbalanced area just as well, where we get this bullish
Yeah,
engulfing candle. Price trades back in. We have these lows right here, where we have a sweep of these lows just barely. And then we get price trading immediately back a buy side. This was actually a trade that Wheezy, who's on the call right now, he called it.
oh, for real?
He called this one using what it is that we've been studying. And I would have been back on the sell side because I've been anticipating price trading back to structure before sells continue. But after that quick little spike, we immediately saw price trade back
That's when where
into
I
the
would have
trend.
entered. I
So
didn't
yeah,
enter
enter
that
here.
trade. Yeah, I didn't enter that
You're
trade
already in Euro USD,
because I was in Euro USD exactly. But that I went to Euro USD because it gave me a cleaner setup
Yes.
than GBP USD.
Absolutely, and I love that. I'm super excited, you guys, just for everything overall. I definitely see, some opportunity to Number one, selfishly, I'll be selfish when I say this, because I believe that iron sharpens iron, and I am somebody who's
Yeah.
always looking to grow, and I'm always looking to develop myself. I'm looking to become better. That's everything else aside. I just want to be, I want to be the very best that no one ever. How did that
No,
Pokemon
but
song
it's
go?
it's good. It's good because you want to be the very best version of yourself, you
Of
know?
myself.
Like, because
Absolutely.
at the end of the day, that's the thing I love about trade. And the end of the day is you
It's you versus
against
you.
you, you know?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then it's just about
Because
setting those things up and disciplining yourself. What I always tell people, Arm, and that's why I have a lot of respect for you automatically, is that number one, in the industry of trading, right, when we're doing this, there are no rules that we have to play
yeah,
by. And in a space
exactly.
where there are no rules, we have to set the structure and we have to set the rules for ourselves. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And I love the way that you have set those rules and you set that structure for yourself. And I'm just looking forward to continuing
Like,
to work with you and to grow and to,
no,
to just get
me
better.
too, bro. Same. And if y'all don't mind me, sharing this is just share it as a, I would say, as kind of as a proof, because I just opened my journal because I know we're about to close the month. So going back to what I said, I take 2 to 3 trades per week, right? So put it this way, 2 to 3 trades times four, you're looking like maybe around what? That's
12,
per
10.
12 to 10 per month,
Yep.
right? So I just saw my journal right now. I did break my rule because I took a little bit over 12 trades this month. I'm in 13, okay? But this is the best thing though, because when I take um less trades, it's higher probability, so higher probability, more profit, right? So I don't know if I can share my screen right here on my phone. Let me see.
Let's see. Here you go.
That way I can show y'all.
Yeah, and we'll wrap it up after that
Okay.
so you can go through and show what you got.
Okay. So yeah, real quick. Okay. Y'all can see, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is, this is the dashboard I have. I need to update this journal. I don't wanna, but I gotta update it more. So you can see right here that basically I had losses, right? I had 6 losses. Okay. So I have 6 and 6. Oh,
That
because I
is
have,
this is the perfect journal.
yeah, the perfect trade. This is more based on my strategy, like if I'm with the trend, if I'm like, oh, that, because I can put in, you know, my analysis right here, the weekly, daily, 4 hour, 2 hour, and then it gives
Man,
me
get that
like,
picture. Move my picture out of there. I try to take my picture. Yeah, there we go.
and then I can get like this, percentage of confluence summary, and it gives me like this overall score, which I just to know, okay, like, okay, I have an idea of if the trade's gonna go against me or it's gonna go with me, you
So
know?
what is this? Is this is an app or this is a website that
It's
has
a
like
website, it's a website, but you know that on your phone you can like
you
put,
can turn it into an app?
yeah, so that's what I did, just to have it in hand.
Okay.
But you can see right here, like for example, my win rate as of now on this journal, because I still gotta update, I gotta put my Euro USD, I gotta put all that, but as of now, it's at 50%, right? But the interesting part, look at this. So I took basically 12 trades, right? From the 12, the 6 I lost was 945. But the 6 I won was 3,000. So just like lock that in, Like I'm not like risking a lot, in terms of percentage, but I'm going for that higher risk to reward. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah, bro.
So that's why like I like my strategy, even though it requires a lot of time and patience and everything. Like Because at the end of the day, I'm still risking the same. I'm still risking 1%, 2%, 3%, 4 or 5, depends, depends on the setup. But I have that probability of getting that 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 4, which is good, and I'm still just risking the same. That's why, if you ask me personally, I don't really like what scalpers do. Because at the end of the day, scalpers are gonna take these, like 7, 8 trades per week, and they can hit, like 1 to 3 on the smaller time frames, but 1 to 3 on the smaller time frame is not gonna be the same as a 1 to 3 or 1 to 4 on a 4 hour on a daily time frame. You know what I'm saying? So that's why, like, it takes more time, but you get more out of it, even though you trade less.
Yeah, I want to say something, man. I appreciate you for showing that, bro, because sometimes when it comes to, you know, a lot of people when it comes to trading, they don't really take proper risk management into
Yeah,
consideration, bro. And you just showed that you lost 6 trades and won 6 trades, but you was
yeah.
still up.
And I was
Still up
still
like
up.
over
Yeah,
50%.
Like, that's just what we got to take in consideration is
yeah. Like
yeah,
don't
proper
even
risk management, like period.
exactly. Don't even think about the money. Like don't think about the 3,000, the 900. Don't think about that. Think about the percentage. How much percentage is he just said it right now. How much percentage he
50?
was? Yeah, 50%. So which
Life is
is
good.
Life is
yeah,
good.
life is good, which is crazy. Because imagine that 50% on a $100,000 account, for example, on a $200,000 account. You know what I'm saying? Everything's
Yeah.
about risk management. So, because a lot of people um think that if you risk more, like for example, this is another rule that I have, and this can work at any strategy, to be honest, because it's about risk management. Let's say in one trade I risk 5%, right? And in that 5% I hit the down, I'm gonna lower my risk. From 5%, I'm gonna go to 3. Okay, next trade I'm gonna risk 3%. Why? Because I want to cut my losses, you know?
Facts.
And there's a lot of people that they don't do that. A lot of people they want to risk 5% on every single trade, and you can't. You cannot do that. Because at the end of the day, let's say you have $1,000. Okay, you're gonna risk 5%. 5% from 1,000, how much it is? $50, right?
hmm
So let's say you risk 50, 50, 50. Just make the math. Like, and I understand if you want to risk 5% if you are experimenting with the account, if you want to flip it. But if you divide 1,000 divided by 50, you only have 20 trades before you blow the account. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
But
the
then,
20 trades, I'm sorry, my apologies.
yeah,
But
you're
the
good. You're
tw-
good.
but the 20 trades, you are not finna go 10 trades in the negative. It's almost for me, I think it's
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
is and even if you did, you still got 10 more trades to
yeah,
turn that over to bring your account back to in good standing.
exactly. Exactly. Which I agree. But what happened? That's what I was gonna say too. So yeah, it's 50, 50, 50, but now I realized you have that good mindset, But what happened? If it's someone that's risking 5%, okay, and let's say you lose one trade at 5% and then you hit the next two or three, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, I think I'm good. Let me risk more. And then that 5% becomes 10%.
They
And
become
then
Yup,
irresponsible.
yup. We know how that
yes,
goes.
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
they become irresponsible.
because you start getting that confidence, which is good, but you're letting your emotions influence the decision when you trade.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
you see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? So I do get your point, and I agree 100% with it because that's the right mindset that you need to have. But there's a lot of people that don't have it yet.
Yeah.
Right. But
You see what
also
I'm
too,
saying?
what if you lose all 10 of those trades? Now you just blew your account because you're not gonna win everything.
It's 20 trades. It's
It's 20
20.
trades. In
You got
$1,000 is
20.
20 trades.
You got 20 trades.
Yeah. In $1,000 is 20 trades. In 100 is 10.
Yeah.
But as he said, like you have the opportunity to you know make it back, but only if you have the right psychology, bro. Because
Yeah.
at the end, like let's say you still risk the 5% on every trade, but let's say you're like, oh, like fuck, I already lost like 15-20% of the account, bro. Like let me chase it. Like you're gonna chase the price, you're gonna chase the trade.
I've done that.
You see what I'm saying?
I've
I've done
done
that
it.
too. I've done it. Like I've done it when I was starting. Like I've
Yeah.
done it, bro. Like it's normal. It's part of the journey. It's normal. It's normal. As I said, like I lost my $200, bro. I lost my $200 in 2 seconds. Like
That's all it takes.
like like just process that because I was trading Nasdaq. I didn't know back then what Nasdaq was,
Yeah.
and I lost 200 fucking dollars.
NASDAQ is the 4th of July, my brother.
Exactly.
Exactly. And I can say I saved Wale from that counter trend trade because he was gonna take it on Nasdaq too. But
I really was. I ain't gonna hold you. He was definitely. I was like, all right. It's a Friday. I'll just chill out, man. Let me just sit
yeah,
down and
exactly, bro.
we'll wait for next week. You know what I'm saying?
And bro, if y'all saw like, okay, let me ask y'all this: do y'all trade London, New York? What session do y'all trade the most? What pairs?
Well, I'm the rookie of the group. I've only been at this since December. I'm only doing New York.
Okay, perfect.
York
So
session.
you're
I get up at 9 o'clock. Well, I'm about 8:30. By 9:30, I'm watching that first 5 minute candle, and then I go
okay.
from there. Yeah, I'm the
Okay.
baby of the group.
No,
Um,
that's great. Because I trade New York too.
I just wait for price to come to my area of interest, and then once it comes to my area of interest, I'm pulling it. But
Uh,
I'm also being patient because sometimes, it takes weeks or it takes a few days for it to come to my area, and then
yeah.
I just wait for that to happen. And once it get there, I'm taking a trade.
And what pairs, if you don't mind me asking? Like,
It could be any pair. Like I just took a trade
okay,
on
you don't go
Chevy
based
Trend.
on pairs, you go based on setups. Good,
Yeah.
good. So it don't matter if it's London session or like you say Euro GBP, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Like it don't matter if it's on London session based pair or it's like a New York. Like for example, I trade New York, so I only go USD pairs. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Uh, Wale wants to get me in on that London
I
session.
don't trade London too. I mean, I trade like Euro NZDs. I
That's what
like
I'm saying.
I like my Euro NZD, but Euro NZD will move 100 pips even during New York. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true though. Because of what we talked about last time. Because at the end of the
Yeah, it's
day,
gonna
when
be
New
the
York
opposite of
opens, yeah.
it's gonna
Oh,
move. It's gonna be inversely correlated. Euro NZD is gonna be
exactly.
inversely correlated to like NZD USD in a big part. So
Ex
when we get that NZD news, and then obviously during this time as well, we get some more opportunities there as well for the NZD side of it. I think when I trade Euro NZD, it's more of a focus on the NZD itself prior, more so than the Euro.
What
Um,
app is
yeah.
this?
let
Yeah.
me see.
Look, so this is something I recommend for y'all. There's a free apps, this is basically the Forex market hours. So it's basically a clock that's gonna tell you when markets are gonna open, for how long they're gonna still be opened.
Yep, drop
Uh,
that in the chat right now because with
Right.
daylight savings times, bro, daylight savings time came and it actually flipped it. It broke it. So it's not
yeah,
connected to Forex and futures. The close, that four
look at
hours
this.
close is now different on both of
Yeah.
those.
Like
Um,
look at I have this widget right here. Basically says, okay, New York opens in 10 hours and 3 minutes. London opens
You got that
in
This
grace.
5 hours.
dope.
Nice.
You got that grayscale on your phone too. Yeah, send that, bro. Send
Yeah.
that. Send that. Go to your app store or whatever. Share that
Yeah,
and
I'll
Yes.
send it right now. This one,
send that in the
okay,
group.
for you to have this widget, I do pay the subscription though, but it's just like $15 a year.
Okay.
So it's
Oh,
it's like
That's
fifteen
to have
dollars a
it.
year. You're gonna make it back, you know. Just,
That's
that's
to
to have
have
the
it on your screen, the widget itself.
like the widget itself. Yeah, yeah.
I think
But
that's fire.
but
I
like
like
look
I
for
like your
example, like
grayscale too, though.
oh, appreciate it, bro. Like you know why I did this? This is like more of a personal preference. So I have my mom and my girlfriend, right? So if y'all see, the only thing that I have in color on the home screen is the two pictures of her, of
Mhm.
of, of them, right? Why? Because every time I open my phone, I know that everything that I do every day is gonna be for them.
I
You know
let's
what
love
I'm
it.
go.
saying?
I
You know
love
what I'm
it.
saying?
I
That's why
love
I
it,
have it
man.
like that, bro.
Yes,
Purpose.
sir, man. I love it, bro. Super excited, man. Thank you so much for your time. You've already made an impact in the community. You know what I'm saying? I always just believe that as we go through life, we're planting seeds. You know, everybody's on a
Yeah,
journey, and sometimes we get the opportunity to cross paths with people who, can impact and influence us. And I don't think that any of those things happen by chance. And I also
yeah,
definitely believe that there's value in that and that, we can learn from everybody. I believe that we can learn from everybody. That's something that I highly, highly believe in, that it doesn't matter if it's the bum on the, excuse me, let me correct myself. It doesn't matter if it's a homeless man on the street. It doesn't matter if it's the multimillionaire. There's a lesson to learn from every single person, if you're
yeah,
willing to learn. And then when there's people like yourself who are willing to share, and find purpose and passion, not only in the mastery that it requires to get to the level that you are, or the pursuit of mastery, what I'm saying? The pursuit of mastery, the pursuit of self mastery, the pursuit of the mastery of your skill set, right? Not only is that going to enhance your life, but you also have a passion for sharing that information back with other people, and influencing them in that
yeah.
way. So I'm extremely excited and grateful to have you be a part of this community, and not even just be a part of this community, but to, be a leader in the community, to share your gifts.
Appreciate it,
You know what I'm
bro.
saying? Absolutely. Arm is going to be somebody who's going to be helping us to break into the Latin American market just as well. Because you guys know, for me personally, I have a real passion, and I believe a part of my purpose is to impact lives across Africa, as well as the United States. You know what I'm saying? These are some of the emerging markets. These are some of the places that, this is one of the only opportunities that they have, you know what I'm saying? Or this is the greatest opportunity that they have. We have individuals. If you guys look in the group right now, we have individuals like Kennedy. Kennedy's in Kenya right now,
You
and
see?
born and raised in Kenya, and he's got to a point to where he understands his skill set to a degree to where
Look at this.
he's not making any crazy, something crazy. What book is that? High Probability Forex Trading Method. I've never read
You
that
know,
book.
this is so I'll be honest, my strategy is not based on this, but for someone that's starting to get an idea, bro, because it's based on MT4 and MT5. Like I use MT5, right? But basically, um, it's really good for someone to, basically get the idea of it, like look what it says right here. Example of bullish divergence, right? So it's based, on another strategy. I guess this is based on the RSI method and the MACD,
Can I say
but
something?
yeah, yeah, of course, yeah.
So MT4, MT5, I was having a conversation with a buddy of mine. We talked today.
Yeah.
We saw each other today and we talked today. Some, but more importantly, we today is Sunday. We talked, let's say maybe on Wednesday, and we probably talked on Monday also. And
Mm.
we were talking about the different platforms and what's happening. MT4 and MT5 came up and hit. I don't know it, but he says he said MT4 and MT5, they're originators.
The
Yeah, we
what?
all
The-
started originators like they're the beginning.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
we for sure started on MT4. MT4
Yeah.
was
yeah,
the
I didn't
only
know. Again, I'm still a
platform.
rookie, and
Yeah, yeah,
he
yeah.
and the fact that that's coming up today, 1 week later, when I was told, hey, MT4, MT5, This is the originator of these platforms. This is ground zero, and
Yep.
now you're bringing it up again. That's just me. And I want to say something else too. Wale,
Hmm.
you 4 weeks now. I hear you say purpose.
Hmm.
Um,
How you hear me say it every week? That's how you know
purpose.
it's. That's how you know it's real.
So
No,
so
no,
let me say something to you, my guy. You're doing kingdom work.
Oh, you don't even follow me on Instagram. Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
doing you're doing kingdom work. And okay, let me say this in 30 seconds. Kingdom work. You're doing something that a lot of experienced traders charge for. I know only one other trader, that's Casper, who does not charge. His entire program is get in if you can get in. And that's the one trader I told Clemente. I said, you know what? I'm signed up to go ahead and get on Casper's team. However, I got my own thing going on. Had nothing to do with you, Wale. However, I'm just too busy to get on with Casper. Okay. And Casper is an old school ICT guy. You get what
I
I'm
don't
saying
like
to you?
ICT.
But what I'm saying to you, you're doing kingdom work. I went back all the way to Casper, and let me see if I can tie this all together. Just last week, another nephew, sent me an Instagram. Someone who's here local in Miami with me, who is also trading and has been trading for 10 years. Watch this. He and I have a professional relationship that's longer than them 10 years he's been trading. So, but I don't think my nephew knew that I knew this individual.
Hmm.
But I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, what's up, man? This is Nate. Blah blah blah. Small talk. Let's catch up real quick. You're trading, yeah, 10 years." I go, "Oh my god, I just dove into it in December." And the first thing he did was try to charge me for a course. Time out. Try, charge me for a package. That's okay. Business is business.
Yeah.
However, this is someone whom we entrusted each other's lives
Yeah.
on a daily basis on a professional level. Read between the lines.
Yeah.
We entrusted each other with each other's lives on a daily basis here in Miami, professionally. And I just found out he's been trading for 10 years through my nephew. And I just jumped into it in December. And we talked on the telephone. And the first thing he did was he sent me something. This is what I'm doing. I'm teaching this, I'm teaching that. And there was a fee behind it. You're doing kingdom work, my brother.
I appreciate that, man. I believe in getting paid for the value that you
We all
provide.
do.
You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't I don't I don't have a
Listen, we
problem with anybody
all do.
charging. It's just that when it just comes down to it being a course, sometimes somebody will sell you a course and you'll never see them again. You'll never hear from them again. And it's sometimes becomes something like that. And at the exact same point, I also do believe that, different people learn in different ways. Some people need one-on-one, some people need a course, some people
Mhm.
need mentorship. If I
Mhm.
can be honest with you, my purpose in doing this, and even teaching is I'm looking to build the kingdom. That's why I thought it was funny because you don't even follow me on Instagram.
We don't.
That's my name on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
Is
true.
what?
that's been my name
And
on Instagram for the past seven. You can't even see. Let me see if I
It's
take this
blurred out.
photo off.
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh
yeah,
and
blurred out.
you know what's crazy too is that
uh
if I'm honest with y'all, I never paid for a course to learn how to
you
trade.
can't see it. I've paid a lot, bro. I've paid over probably $12,000 for
Me
mentorship and
too.
courses,
No,
things like
I
that.
and
pay for courses as well.
and I get it. I mean, I get it, bro. But for example, me personally, I never, I never really paid for a course.
Let me say something.
But I want to show you something though. I'm sorry to call you off. I'm
It's
sorry to
okay.
call you off. But I want to show you something. So, like when we say like, cause
I'm
I
gonna go ahead and
know.
stop the recording so it doesn't get too long though.
Hmm.
We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
keep
you're good.
talking.
You're good. So